to an all new episode of Live with me, Christian. Hi, how are you? Happy Wednesday, happy hump day. I hope this week is being good to you. And, you know, I'm actually like, I don't know if like I should be embarrassed because it's not like I have anything to do with it, but it is yet another day without the Housewives of Salt Lake City trailer girls and gays. So we're just going to talk about everything else. I'm going to tell you what we're going to talk about. Up first, NeNe says that there is no Real Housewives of Atlanta in her near future. She says she was never offered a contract. We're going to talk about that. Another person that says no Housewives is in her future is Martha Stewart. I'll explain that. And over on the West Coast, Heather and Terry are stepping into another business venture because you know what? They're just not rich enough as it is. Tell you more about that. And speaking of rich, Teddi Mellencamp is kind of talking about her Real Housewives of Beverly Hills salary from the years ago. So let's break it all down. Up first, NeNe basically said, not basically, she confirmed because first of all, it's been said that Atlanta started filming season 17 this week. Okay. And which is good. You know, the reunion just wrapped not too long ago. Seems like they're really wanting to cash in on the momentum. And there's been a lot of rumblings about a NeNe return. Obviously she and Bravo have had their issues, but in and out of court. There was, I think, a major settlement that was involved. A lot of people thought that kind of sealed the deal on NeNe's fate with the network. However, we were all surprised because like a year or so ago, we started seeing NeNe pop up more over on E for like red carpet coverage, at award shows and stuff. And you might ask, what does that have to do with anything? Well, because E and Bravo are owned by the same company, NBC. So a lot of people, myself included, kind of took that as a hint and a sign that all was well as far as the business relationship went between NeNe and NBC, and that a return, maybe if not likely, just certainly wasn't off the table, right? Well, obviously, this time of year, there's all kinds of rumors that are going around as far as negotiations and who's signed and who's filming and who's considering filming. And there were rumors that NeNe was being, in negotiations. And there were rumors also that she turned down a friend of contract. She basically has said none of that's true because she commented on Instagram. I'm not sure if it was like she replied to a comment or something, but she said that no contract, no offer was ever made to her. Okay. So there being no offer doesn't mean there was never negotiations, I don't guess, but I felt it was very interesting for her to say it the way that she did, because it kind of felt like she was wanting people to know, like, once again, like, it's not me, like, I'm willing to come to the table, but it seems that the offer didn't come from their side yet. So they haven't put their money where their mouth is, though. I mean, I can't even say that because they haven't really spoken on the issue, but really, honestly, I was kind of surprised. Like, would it have been like, holy crap, NeNe's back? Like, that level of surprise would have been monumental. But being honest, I felt like I was maybe kind of taking these little hints along the way, like, I don't know how things are so cool with her in NBC as far as E goes, but she's kind of hinting that there's still a stall on the show that, we came to love her on, which is Atlanta. I also, like, in recent years, and this could just be like wishful thinking, but as we are kind of turning a page on and reaching really, really monumental senior seasons of these series, we have OC coming up on their 20th season. That's huge. Beverly Hills, 15. I believe, Jerseys, they're coming up on 15, I believe, whenever they get back in. And I've always vouched for nostalgia, bring back the people that we love. And in my heart of hearts, y'all know my girl, my forever fave, Vicky. I've just been like, when I saw that they were bringing Gretchen back for season 19 and not Vicky, I start thinking, okay, what is the plan? What is the roadmap? And then I think maybe this is part of the plan. Maybe part of the plan is to let some of these familiar faces from years past come back And then for those monumental years is when we'll really cash in on the nostalgia and give people what they want, you know? I do still hold out hope that she will get a season 20 offer, Vicky will. And I'm hoping that with NeNe saying this, that maybe there's a greater plan at play. Does that make sense? Like, you know, yeah, I know if they're just coming up on season 17, season 20 seems forever away. It kind of is, but you got to think it's because I just saw someone, let's see, who was that? The not 223 commented saying she thought NeNe was offered to do Traitors. Maybe she was. And things like that are what, you know, is going to make that 3-year time frame pass by if that were to be their plan. Now, I know that the likelihood that I am on to them and what they're doing is probably next to nothing. But when you just see these decisions like what's being made in Jersey and the rumors in Atlanta of not only NeNe returning, but possibly Kim and Sheree as friends. And then you see a lot more of a push in the comments and stuff for people kind of wanting that nostalgia back from OC and to bring Vicky back for season 20. And I just think that there's such an opportunity for a wave of nostalgia to take over these shows if they were to just do right by the women who helped get us here, you know? And I did want to also hit on the fact that, you know, so NeNe said they haven't offered her anything yet, but there are rumors that Kim and Sheree have been offered friend of contracts. So does that kind of back up the possible theory that I said, which is, you know, leverage some of these familiar faces to drive excitement and to continue developing story for a year or two. And then it's in those monumental seasons is where we knock it out of the park. Maybe I'm just psychotic, which could very well be the case. But I don't know. It seems like there's just been a lot of mixed signals, and I can't tell what to think, y'all. You know? I mean, what do y'all think? Let me know. I'll come back towards the end and recap what all you had to say. For now, and get this, NeNe ain't the only one dealing with casting rumors. Martha Stewart. Yes, you heard that right. I have a journalism minor. I use it to make housewife memes. I think that is better use of a journalism degree than writing a story that we all know is complete and utter sack of, okay, in what world is Martha Stewart ever actually considering in the running in a conversation as it would even be remotely possible or of interest to her to join a reality show, an ensemble reality show, much less Real Housewives of New York City? Because there's been rumors, she had to shut it down and basically say, I'm not a housewife, I'm not coming to RHONY. I don't know where these rumors came from, and I know, listen, I'm not necessarily, I make memes with my journalism degree, but maybe we can look elsewhere. Why we got to make up stuff? That clearly is never going to happen. In what world is Martha Stewart going to Bryn's house? Well, never mind, because Bryn's leaving. But Martha would have flowed better with the former cast, in my opinion. Like Martha Stewart and Ramona. Oh, like imagine Martha's face, you know, when Ramona pooped the floor. History would have been made at Ramona's expense, which is kind of even better. That's horrible. Oh, Lord. But yeah, again, with the rumors, like, for the love of God, you know, also, like, I think Martha could pay the salaries of every housewife, every executive at NBC, and then sometimes two. There has never been someone who needs a reality TV paycheck less than Martha. So if you're going to lie, at least make it a good one. You know, that's how I feel. If you didn't know, Heather and Terry, they are jumping into another business venture together. Obviously, they do lots of stuff together. They stay busy. And it's also like, I've always said, like, if I was as rich as they were, I would be legs up, feet up on a beach, in a mansion, in a jet. Not working. But mad respect to them. They like to work. And they Heather announced that she was ending her podcast, which if Heather was one of the first housewives to have a podcast like 10 years ago, which is honestly respect to her for jumping on that wave and riding it out successfully. But she said there were changes coming, new things coming. So I was kind of curious. I thought she was just jumping networks or something, which it seems she did. But also now her and Terry are linking up. They're doing a podcast together. It's with iHeart and it's called Better Together, I think. Don't want to tell you wrong. Between Us. No, Better Together. What is wrong with me? Between Us is the name of the podcast. Seems they already have an episode out. Let me know. What do y'all think? Are y'all into like podcasts with housewives, like couples? You know? Are you not? What's a duo, housewives, friends, or romantic or not, or just friends? Not even the same city, even two cities that you think should do like a podcast together. It would be interesting. Tell me. Think about it. Let me know. Speaking of podcasts and housewives, another one who is really at the top of that wave is Teddi Mellencamp, host of Two Teas in a Pod with Tamra, of course. And Teddi was recently, I think she was being interviewed or she was on a podcast. And somehow the subject of housewives' salaries came up. And I was a little surprised because, you know, and oh my God, do y'all see this? Lord Jesus, I look like Dorinda on her third martini with this wild hair. You know, Teddi's kind of an open book. You know, she kind of goes there, talks about anything and everyone on the shows because it's her job. And I was surprised that whenever they kind of dove into this housewives salary topic, she got a little quiet. And she basically just said that she can't reveal it and never can, and said that all housewives make the same thing their first season, which is kind of standard, like we know that, but that it's like, you know, you get like a standard percentage increase too should they want you to return. But when they obviously, if someone wants you to return, there's interest in you, so therefore you can at least try to negotiate, right? And that's, I think, where people's salaries maybe start to differ. But you know, you always want what you can't have. And Teddi making it seem like we can't have that information. Now I want nothing more. I want to know down to the penny. I want to know what you got after taxes. I want to know what your agent got. Don't say I can't know something because then I'm going to want to know it. So I've always been fascinated by housewives' salaries. Just because, like, I want to know, like, there had to be a turning point even at Bravo where they're like, okay, this isn't like a small thing anymore where we're paying people $10,000 to film for 6 weeks. You know, like we have actual talent in the industry. Talent is, you know, the people on TV, the subjects. So we have people to take care of, AKA, and then you got to think, when did housewives start getting teams? Like, I know that Gina Keogh once said she had a friend that told her that they basically should all band together and try and get more money. And the way that the network went around it or was able to do it was because they used it as like location fees for filming in their homes. So I would just love to talk to people that were in the weeds of all that. Like, what was that wave and transition like of housewives having agents and housewives having managers and management teams and lawyers that you have to negotiate with? You know, fascinating. Like, I want to see a history of all the paychecks that Bravo has ever sent to housewives. I want to, and I've kind of asked Vicky about it, but like, I want to know, like, do you get a lot up front? Do you get paid weekly to film? Do you get it all at the end? Do they break it up in 3? Like, and that's why the reunion, you know, like if the reunion's really, really good and they get more episodes, therefore they get more money because of an episodic fee. So many things to know, you know, it's fascinating. Cause like, look at some of these women who have literally their lives have, I mean, were good, but they were good before financially, but now with housewives included, it changes it completely. Like Emily Simpson wasn't down bad before, but now 6-7 seasons into housewives and she's making probably at least $500,000 a year, if not more. It ain't hurting, you know? So And not everybody is, you know, a Bethany or a Teresa or a Vicky and a Tamara. I think the Vicky and Tamara, before they got their demotion, I think they both said they were up to like 1.3, 1.4 a season. I'm sure Tamara's, you know, obviously much higher than that now, but just a very interesting topic and journey that I imagine the finance people at NBC have been through with these women. And also too, no matter what you're paying them, and I mean this with all the respect in the world, it could never be enough. Because look at what they've given us, you know? All right. Gonna go back and look at y'all's comments as we start to wrap up, see what you're thinking. Yasmin, my girl, was first comment. I'm here without fail, Christian. I love you, Yasmin. That's good. I'm in Dubai. I want Salt Lake to come when I land in England on Friday. Okay, we'll manifest it. You're going to be watching Mary Cosby kill and just dominate the trailer in the most iconic way in England on Friday when you land. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to England. If you haven't heard, please turn on your phones to Bravo Twitter and look at the Housewives of Salt Lake City Season 6 trailer. Is it Season 6 or Season 5? I know the girls. I don't know the numbers. Y'all know I'm not a math person. You know? All right. NeNe actually could come back. Let's face it. Would actually come back since the death of Greg. She would ask for crazy money. I mean, she's kind of due that money. They earned it, you know? And like the demand behind NeNe is huge. Like there's 0% chance the ratings wouldn't reflect it. You know, I would be deathly shocked if ratings didn't skyrocket. You know, I think Traders is going to bridge between her back to Housewives of Atlanta since she couldn't do Traders. The return is delayed. Okay, see, that makes sense. That makes sense. Because I think that it's a process. Like, you know, not maybe she had to decline because her son was in the hospital very sick. Interesting. Oh, yeah, I hope Brent's doing better. Bless his heart. Just like JT and NSYNC, we want the nostalgia, Bravo. Yes, these newbies don't get it. They need the OGs to show them the way. Clearly. I need Vicky to run over these newbies with a little family van and teach them something, you know? I think we need one more season to stack the cards up for NeNe, then have her big return for 18. See, AB, I agree with you. I want her back, but I also feel like we have time. We have nothing but time. Make it the perfect comeback for her because that's what she deserves, you know? Let's see. KM Martha Stewart is 84 and more fabulous than me. But yet neither one of us are going to be on Housewives anytime soon. You know, we had the Ultimate Girls Trip show, and I loved that. Just saying. You mean the RHONY one or like Ultimate Girls Trip in general? I miss Ultimate Girls Trip. Like, I think that should be 18 seasons a year. Bring it back. Lala Christian is an amazing host. Thank you, Lala. Love you. Teddi just wants to solidify her spot on the next season. Well, talk to me about who. Never. I don't even want to say that. Talk about something else because I don't think that Bravo and you hinting around about salaries is the way to do it, you know. Also, I'm like, Teddi, what did you know about the other lady's salaries? Because I know Kyle is taking home a check. Okay. She could buy Kim's GD house 18 times over and over with one Bravo check. Know that. All right. All right. Sonia once said they received a weekly check, I think. See, yeah, I feel like they probably get like a little percentage up front. Then like a weekly because it's a talent. They have to film. So they need like, you know, it's a lot of work. So I feel like they have to pay them actively while they're working, you know. I just don't know, do they still get paid out as the episodes are rolling out? You know, like how do you incentivize and encourage them to be involved in social media and all the press and stuff if they felt like they already got paid, you know? All right, well, now that we've finished our finance talk, girls. No, thank y'all so much for joining me today. Yeah, let's do it again on Friday. We'll wrap up this week together. And by then we'll already be halfway through August, which is crazy. So I love y'all so much. Thank you so much for joining me. Yasmin, KM, Rochelle, Lala. I love y'all. Thank you so much. And everybody else, AB, not 223. If I'm missing somebody, don't hate me because I love you just as much. And I better see you back here on Friday at 3 o'clock Eastern. Okay. See y'all next time.